do that. It's impossible, because you will not know that you're being guided by ego consciousness. But if you rise above that and have mastered not only the physical body, but the other things, as a mental aspect of ourselves, the emotional side, if those are mastered, and a person comes to you for help, or you meet anybody in a casual way, you can help them in an unbiased, unprejudiced way, because then the omniscience of God in you as the Christ consciousness will speak through you. But otherwise, it will not. So remember, in judging a true master or trying to recognize a true master, remember, see with whatever means you have at hand, if he is speaking from the high level of communion with God or from ego consciousness. One thing we must remember, that masters teach without personal motive for the devotee's highest good. That's the one thing I remember when I met the master. I was watching for that, because I had been fooled. We all have been fooled. As they say, it takes a life to know a life. They fool even the elect. So I was watching for that. But I found in all my dealings with him that he acted only for my highest good, without any personal motive. And even the first time I met him in Boston, on Christmas Eve, when I received so much spiritual help for which I can never repay him, and at which opportunity he was certainly in a position to ask for certain things if he wanted them, all he said to me was this. He said, "Doctor," he said, "if after practicing and following me, allowing me to discipline you, you enjoy it and it helps you, will you help others to attain it?" I said, "Certainly." You see, he was acting without nothing for himself, without personal gain for the devotees, or all devotees' highest good. Another illustration comes to my mind showing that the masters act without personal motive. They must put personal gain aside. I remember one time, not too long ago, he called me on the telephone early in the morning, and then I began to catch it. You know, if you allow a true master to discipline you, you want to be able to take it, because he is working for your highest good. As he said to me, "I want you to be the highest." Could I say there was any personal gain in that? So he called me this time, and then I began to catch it. For something that I had not done. I knew it. I tried to get a word in edgewise, but it wouldn't get in. So then I took it, and I realized that it was a greater thing to allow that discipline knowing that there was a mistake than not to take it. So after a long battle of 2 or 3 hours, I said, "All right, sir, you win. I take it." The point is this, that if you allow a man of God to discipline you, you should be able to take it, willing to take it, whether he is right or wrong. You will never lose, even though he is mistaken in judgment. But I think he did it just to see if I could take it. So catching on, I said, "All right," after a long 2 or 3 hours, "All right, you win." And from that moment, when that battle was over, the ego didn't bother me anymore. The ego was completely thrown out. And so in the morning, about 7 o'clock, called up kind of sheepishly and said, "How are you feeling? You all right?" I said, "Oh, yes, I'm all right." Then he said, showing his motive, that's what you have to watch. Then he said, "You know, no one else would have dared to talk to you like that." I said, "That's right. I'd have finished them off." He says, "No one else would have dared to talk to you like that. I want you to be the highest. That's why I did it." Now, who else but a true master? Who else but your best friend would do that for you. An ordinary friend would say, oh, you're a wonderful fellow, everything's fine, and things would go along, and you'd be just the same in ego consciousness. But a true master will lift the devotee, if he is willing, from ego consciousness into the presence of God. That's why, of course, they are masters, because they can do those things and have no personal motive and expect no personal gain. As I have said, you can recognize a true master now, because in their presence, what do you feel? You feel the peace and bliss of Christ consciousness, without doubt. Now you may meet another person, a person full of animal magnetism. You feel a certain power in their presence. I remember I met one time one of the cabinet members under Calvin Coolidge. I was in a position to meet him, talk to him, and know him quite well. I felt a power there, tremendous power. But when you meet a true master, you feel a different thing. You feel the peace, the all-satisfying bliss of the Christ consciousness which the master exudes from himself. The master gives you that. He satisfies your soul in a different way than a strong person or a person filled with magnetism. The master satisfies your soul how? By giving you a portion of the Holy Ghost within. The holy vibration, the Christ consciousness in him, a true master is able to give you that, to give you a portion of that. That's why the soul is satisfied. And when you go to a master with many questions, those of you who had the privilege of meeting Paramhansa Yoganandaji realize that the questions were not asked by you. It was not necessary, because, as I have said, your soul was satisfied by receiving the benediction of the Holy Ghost through that true master. It says that wonderfully in the Gita, in the 18th discourse.